This is the new ASIS Elite 8 metre. New not just only to the UK, but new as a model to the world. It's a new concept in the fact that it's got twin steering consoles, similar to another boat that we once saw that came out of South Africa. And in fact, a lot of the ideas and design comes from South Africa, although interestingly, these boats are built in Dubai. And as far as I'm aware, that's the first of any ribs I've ever heard of coming out of Dubai. I was curious to see how the finish and quality of that would be, because never having seen a boat from that country before, it was going to be an eye-opener for us to study the features and the quality of finish. I would say that the craft is finished in a unfinished state at the moment. She is the first of a new range of craft to come over, as I've explained. She was rushed to get here to the show. We do often hear this story before, but this is a brand new boat, a brand new model, and despite the fact that it has been rushed, it's got some nice features. These bucket seats are very good. They hold you very well. A little bit high for me. I can't quite reach the floor there. If I'm sitting normally, my feet are off the floor, but then I'm short. Most people would be all right, I guess. Driving position is excellent. You've got the wheel in exactly the right position, controls in the right position, and these little fairings, for me at my height, they were just throwing the air over my head. So even flat out at 54 miles an hour, which we achieved today, at 6,200 RPM with a Mercury 275 Verado on the back, it's a good speed. It's not electrifyingly fast, but then you know, it is an 8 metre boat with a single 275 horsepower output on the back. In the front of the boat, you've got a very large seating area, and there's an infill section that goes in there to make a huge bed. So for sunbathing, it's absolutely ideal. The whole of the inside of that horseshoe shaped part has got an infill there and a cushion, so that you can sleep very comfortably up there. I suppose with the addition of a canopy, you could even sleep in it overnight. Right up in the bow, you've got a deep anchor locker, but beyond that, on the standard issue will be an electric windlass, and this will be operated by remote control. The package price of this craft, complete with a 275, as you see it, with all its upholstery and what have you, but with lesser GPS. All it has on here is a VHF radio and a stereo system, but for some reason no GPS. But with the electric windlass, comes out at 44,000 plus VAT, which is very competitive for an 8 metre boat. The hull is interesting. It's really a metaphor of another make of boat, which is very well known. It derived originally from a famous sports boat hull, was then made into a rib some years ago, which is still in production today, and then from there it was modified to its current state, which is a softened version of a very well-known racing hull, and it works extremely well. I have to say the handling on it is it's brilliant. You can chuck this boat into a tight turn at a very high speed, it just grips. There's no slip, there's no slide, there's no cavitation, it just gets round very, very quickly. It's just like driving a sports car on the water. The steering is light and precise, and the best feature of the boat, for me anyway, is the handling and the performance of it. I think with the engine lifted a little higher and a few experimentations with propellers, we'd probably be looking at 60 miles an hour from this craft. There's lots of locker space under each one of the seats. All the seats lift up, so there's locker space underneath them. And I also like the fact that under the floor here there's a stainless steel tank. The whole locker lifts up, so for access to it, should there be any issues, you can just lift this whole bit up here. Very good. Unfortunately, the access to the electrics in here is not so good, because you have to go up inside the console from underneath, which could be quite tortuous, I suppose, unless you were incredibly short or, I don't know, very supple, I suppose. But never liked that system, and there appears to be no way of getting at them from the front. I think that could be remedied with a hatch in the bow, in the front of the locker, but just a small point, but worth mentioning. What I can't understand, there's absolutely no grab handles in the boat at all. So for any passengers in here, it would be an absolute nightmare trying to hang on. I'm told that they're going to be fitted to future production boats, but it seems remiss of me that you can sit here, there's absolutely nothing to grip. The gentleman from ASIS Ribs was having to hold on to this rather slippery piece of fiberglass on the turns, which I'm sure he wasn't finding too attractive. And we were jumping the wash of a rather large vessel out there earlier, and I just was concerned that he had absolutely nothing to hold on to apart from bracing his feet on the floor. If you look around the craft, there's lifeline down the outside, but other than that, there's nothing to hold on to. So that should be addressed, and I'm told will be addressed on future boats. Features that I didn't particularly like: the finish inside the lockers. I thought that was something that will come with production boats, be improved quite a lot. The thickness of the cushions is fairly thin. Again, it's easily addressed. Whether that will happen on production boats, I'm not sure, but certainly it's something I would want to see changed on the boat. Overall, it's a very capable craft, very strongly made, evidently. It's got this flexi-teak deck on it, which is quite attractive, and I think once the production boats are in full swing and the finish on them is better and there's grab handles all around for everyone, I think this would be a very good value for money boat for people who want to use them properly as a sports craft, high speed use, long distance cruising, bearing in mind that it's not it is an open boat with very little protection in the form of these small consoles here. For the family man, yes, it could be used as a family boat. You've got all this space up the front, fantastic for picnicking and what have you, and for just relaxing in. And you've got this wide bench seat at the back here, a little bit shallow in depth, not much support for the neck and upper half of the neck of the back, but nevertheless it's plenty wide enough for children and what have you sitting on it. It's pretty good. I like these step boards with the non-slip flexi-teak on them, which means you can step down into the craft without stepping on a slippery tube. More manufacturers now are producing boats with these safety features, and that's very good. There's also a 6.5 version which is based on the same hull configuration, a slightly different layout. They have a commercial or sports layout, so that you can use it as a utility boat or as a high-speed cruising boat such as this, and that's on the 6.5 model. Again, if it handles like this one, it's certainly a boat worth looking at. So to sum up, really, it's a fast boat. Once it's got the handholds on it, once it's had the edges just trimmed up a bit to make it look a bit nicer, I think it'll be a worthwhile boat to put on your short list of boats to consider, especially value for money at 44,000 plus VAT.